I don't know. At the end of the day, you don't have much energy to go look at another contract to
Yeah.
attend the audit. Yeah. So yeah.
And I also feel like development is so much more fun than doing auditing itself. Auditing is a little bit excruciating. You gotta be really.
Well, actually, I find auditing more fun than at this point. I find auditing more fun than trying to develop a protocol. It's because to develop protocols, you need to also look at other protocols, and that's already sort of like auditing another contract because you got to learn how the protocol works so that you can get some ideas. And in doing so, you sometimes find bugs.
Very true, man. And what does frustrate you in this field? I mean, in this industry, what keeps you, a little bit mad?
Not mad, but I think it'd be nice to see more job opportunities. Like right now, I see the job listing and they're only looking for top talents. So there's no way for junior developers to come into the space. Whereas if you go to traditional web job markets, there's a lot more job opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, this also has a lot of correlation with the market state, right? Because I remember
Yeah.
also at the last bull run, there was a point there was like 3, 4 jobs for each one of the developers. And I'm quite sure that this is happening again. So for everybody there that feel a little bit scared at this point, don't worry. I mean, things should change soon. We all hope for, right? I mean, brother, can you
Yeah.
tell us how did you start with development? What brought you in this industry? Like what you used to do? I mean, was games or what brought you into development
Into programming
programming?
into programming. Before programming, I was working in a mountain cabin, doing like hospitality. Uh, then I decided I wanted to learn web programming, so I picked up a PHP book and then started learning. And I think that's like 11 years ago, I believe. And I found program to be fun because you do something and you can see something move, and that was always fun.
PHP is such a people are so bad with PHP. I love it. It's a language that gave me so much money and was one
But
of the ways that I started with
yeah,
development too. Was so easy to spam a
yeah,
Laravel instance and just do some code so fast, you don't have to do all that setup. And
yeah,
so I really love the language. And that's why I love Solidity too. There's not a lot of,
yeah,
you can just open Remix, type your code and test
yeah,
it. It's so much more
yeah.
easy. They haven't to set up your Java environment or doing some crazy configuration thing.
Yeah.
Do you usually go into conferences and meeting the people?
No, never been to conference.
Why, man?
My well, my channel never became. I never. I don't know. Just being lazy, I guess.
Maybe you're a little bit introverted, no?
Yeah, yeah.
I understand, but
I rather not.
you gotta come to a conference, bro. Your channel is a total success. Gotta come to a
Yeah,
conference. People gonna love to meet you, to know more about you, and
yeah,
and and yeah, just chat in general.
yeah.
And bro, what are the plans for the future? What are you thinking of doing now? What are you trying to get? I saw that you did some Sway videos. Any particular reason for that?
Someone on my Discord channel said Sway. I looked into it, and it was a fun programming language to learn, and to also the tooling was really nice. And also they use instead of having account based state management like Solidity, they use UTXO based. So it was just interesting to learn how different programming language for blockchains
Can you
out
ex-
there.
Can you explain for us the difference between account-based and UXTO?
Yeah, okay. So account-based is like is one account has one balance. So if you wanted to do concurrency, then multiple programs might be racing to update that one balance. But whereas if you use UTXO, you're always making like a new account sort of. So concurrency becomes easier to handle.
That's interesting. Also, and you were also a Rust grad, right? I mean, how's learning Rust going?
Well, Rust, I know enough to make like a web server, but other than that, I would say I'm like maybe like a beginner. Like I don't understand borrows, lifetimes, and that sort of stuff.
So if I got it right regarding the UTXO, we are actually recreating the state as we go, right?
Uh, it's always like you always get like a new account every time you spend your money. So this is the same as Bitcoin. You get this thing called UTXO, which stands for unspent transaction something. And then every time you want to spend your wallet, it will always split into two parts. One part is the part that you're sending it to. The other part is the address that you're getting a refund. So you never reuse the same account. I guess that's how I would describe it. There's a video on YouTube by the guy from Optimism, and he explained it really well.
Awesome, brother. And what are the things that frustrate you with Solidity? Something you don't like about the language of the way?
Oh yes. So in Viper and both in Viper and Sway, you namespace the state variables by either having like storage dot or self dot. But in Solidity, all variables, you don't know if that variable is a local variable or a state variable. Because there's no, the syntax isn't like storage dot variable name. It's just the variable name. So that's one thing that I wish Solidity had. The other thing is stack to the bear.
Yes, contract size, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you ever create a curse, a paid curse for you sell or something?
If I ever created what?
A paid curse, or all your videos are free?
All the videos are free, but then I also have a paid course. All of the contents are free. The paid course, what's different is that you'll be able to do some challenges online and then submit the code, and on the server side, I run some tests.
Awesome. The course is already online, it's already out?
Yeah. Well, it's the website called smartcontract.engineer.
Awesome. How's the experience? Does the course sells well? Is it a good way of making money in this industry?
During the bull run, it was doing really well, and then it sort of like relates with the price of Bitcoin. But now it's making about maybe $1,000 a month, and then minus about $500 for the server fees. So the rest is what I get.
Oh, you're running these on a really good server, aren't you? I mean, OVH is around $20, bro. Why are you paying 500?
Well, running couple servers like dev servers, production servers, and then some other services that I need to run the servers.
And tell me something. How do you feel about the Ethereum ecosystem today? Some things are really tricky. We see a lot of influence going around, and also, strangely, we talk about decentralization all the time. We talk about how all these philosophical points, but what we see in practice is very different, like by paradigm. It's something quite different. How do you feel regarding the ecosystem? What are your view on it, and what do you think? You think that we ever going to grow into a mainstream industry?
Yeah, I think it will. And I don't try to follow drama. It's just waste of my time. So yeah, I don't have much opinions.
Awesome. Well, you're not.
I
Go on.
I think right now the best blockchain is Ethereum. Yeah.
You think the best blockchain is Ethereum, but you have experience besides Ethereum? Have you ever worked on Polkadot or Near? I think you have some videos on Near, right?
No near. EOBM way is nice, but there's nothing production ready yet. Worked with Bitcoin and Lightning Network. They were hard to develop on. Solidity, Ethereum is really easy to work with. There's tons of resource, so it's always fun to work on this chain.
Are you following the recent developments on Bitcoin, like with BitVM and the Ordinals? The people are making tokens and NFTs.
No.
Seems like
Will they be able to run EVM on it?
Yeah, so if you look, there's a website called BitVM. You can just Google it, and you're gonna see that there's this paper presenting a full computational VM on BTC. So this is one thing. Something else besides that is people now they come up with this thing called ordinals. Ordinals allow you to release tokens and do subscription on Bitcoin. So I think that maybe something can come out of these, you know. Do you ever went into the Satoshi Nakamoto rabbit hole, like who is he and everything?
No.
Seriously, you never spent like a week
No.
looking into this? I mean, this was the most interesting thing for me when starting, you know?
Yeah. Why?
Bro, I
you
mean,
get nothing out of it.
Bro, but imagine creating, I don't know, the mystery is too interesting. I mean, imagine creating something of such value, never spending it. It's okay. I mean, we don't actually know if Satoshi spent the bitcoins or not, but we kind of suspect that he's never spent. So it sounds really like interesting to me, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and brother, what are the interesting developments you are seeing around regarding maybe some project, some protocol or game on the blockchain? There's anything you were following? Any projects?
Nothing in particular, but most of my hours are spent looking at DeFi protocols. I'm kind of interested in L2 technologies. Haven't had the time to look deep into it. But not sure how L2s will play out in the future.
You know, I also have this question.
Yeah.
No, go on.
So I'm also interested in like atomic swaps, but don't really have any good ideas on how to do it in a user-friendly way.
Can you explain for us what is an atomic swap?
So to transfer tokens between one chain to another chain, what we usually do is through bridges. Bridges relay the message, and on the other side, you get the tokens. Atomic swaps, you don't need a bridge, so it's more peer-to-peer. So that's centralized. And the way that it works is the only way that I know is by using hash time lock contracts. So this is from the idea from Lightning Network. You hash something, send over the hash. On the other side, you reveal the hash, and this will allow two parties to exchange tokens on two chains without much coordination or trust.
It's really interesting. Never thought about it. So there's a sort of allowance system between peer-to-peer users, right? So
yeah.
Really interesting.
Right now you can write this using Solidity. But then I doubt that people will use it because now you have the problem of trying to find a person on the other chain that's willing to coordinate with you to do some kind of exchange.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. You can just do that without having to have bridges. That would be a really different way of transacting. Maybe they
Yeah.
fix a little bit of these hacks that we have. What is your view on that?
Yeah.
It is 200 million weekly hacks we have all the time.
It's always internet. I feel bad, but when like the hackers send their message on the Ethereum chain, it's a little bit funny. They're using it as a chat server.
Yeah, I also get you. You know, I mean, we don't like the hacks itself, but it's always interesting to see how people are able to come up with this incredible, flash loans of 300 different protocols and connecting everything to do arbitrage. What about MEV? Ever tried that?
Well, I use Flashbot to just play around, but no, I think it's too competitive.
It's very competitive, and yeah. There's also a lot of gatekeeping, so people saying things that to keep us, distracted. So MEV, I think, requires a little bit of research if you want to dive into this,
Yeah.
What do you do for fun, man? What is your fun time? How does it look like?
Fun time. Right now I like to study MakerDAO protocol. That's fun one. Another fun is I like to exercise I like to do simple exercises. Go to the gym, swim, or run, or just walk outside.
How old are you? Can you disclose that?
Yeah, I am 37. Just turned, 37.
Massive shed, man. Massive shed. Likes to go to the gym. Everybody go to the gym. Likes to make some exercise. Get your head sharp.
But I don't lift heavy.
I see.
That's too lazy for.
See, just do the maintenance thing, right?
Yeah.
And bro, what are you excited? Are you also an investor? So are you also buying coins and trying to make a little bit of money out of this?
No. Because I live in Japan and crypto taxes are kind of tedious to handle in Japan. So I just don't do any don't buy cryptos, and I don't do trading.
And what brought you to Japan? How did you end up in there?
I was born here.
Oh, so you're Japanese?
Yes.
Wow, you have perfect English, man.
I went to international school and then also went to a university in United States.
Can you tell us a little bit about the mind of the Japanese developer? I feel there is a little bit different from your West developer. What do you think is the fundamental change?
First, well, I only worked in one Japanese company. Maybe it's like working overtime. It seems normal. Some people take it as a pride, but I don't really understand it.
I mean, working overtime there's some places where you want to work overtime a lot. I mean, the US, one of them, you want to work in the US, be prepared to work a lot. Japan, I don't know, but you're telling us right now that that's also the case. For some reason, I thought that you were Australian, but I'm gladly surprised that you're Japanese. Let's talk a little bit.
I worked in Australia. I went there with a working holiday visa.
How long you stayed there?
2 years.
Did you enjoy it? Going to the sea and being around the island?
Yeah. It's a nice country.
And now got back to Japan. You have any plans of moving, of going to other places to live, or you want to stay there now?
Yeah, definitely want to go overseas again.
Any places in mind?
Uh, somewhere more crypto friendly, maybe.
Maybe Dubai or Lisbon?
No, no Dubai,
No
no Dubai.
Dubai. Maybe Lisbon or what are the crypto friendly places? There's not a lot. El Salvador, Nigeria, there's not a lot
Uh,
of crypto friendly places.
Portugal, Germany,
You think Germany is crypto friendly?
Singapore.
Isn't Germany like super tax heavy on crypto users?
I just did like a 10-minute Google research, so you might know more than me.
No, no.
Yeah.
I know that in Europe you can choose not to declare stuff, but it's complicated because if you do declare, you need to pay up to 50% taxes on whatever profit you do. But come on, we're hardly doing the taxes properly, but we should. Okay,
Yeah.
do your taxes, man. Don't. It's gonna be way worse if you don't. Well, and bro, I'm from Brazil, and in Brazil we have a huge, I don't know if you know this, but Brazil has the biggest amount of Japanese people outside Japan, you know? So I got quite a scoop of, especially being from São Paulo, I got quite a scoop of, the Japanese culture. And one thing I think super cool about the Japanese culture is whenever you do something bad, you're not only doing bad to your name, you're doing bad to your name and to your family's name. So this puts you in a lot of pressure, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
What about martial arts? Are you a karate guy?
When I was in elementary school, I did learn karate for like 2 or 3 years.
So you can also fight.
Yeah. No, I cannot.
But
I
besides
can run.
besides being a fucking good developer, you're also a fighter.
No, I'm not a fighter. I will run away.
I see.
Someone tries to fight, I will run away.
I understand, bro. I also am that. I'm also on that spot. And man, what do you think? Because one thing that I see and that I'm always thinking on is how far from us the developers, the traditional developers are. When you talk about crypto, most of these guys have no idea what we're talking about. Some of them hate the industry. They think what we do are scams or how long you think will take for us to start having more adoption crypto overall?
I have no idea. I think it's
I mean, for
if
developers, okay? I'm talking not the users, but
yeah,
when developers start commenting because this industry pays so well, right?
yeah. I think it will be like the third world countries that will adopt go first. It's like I think for like developed countries, there's too many regulations.
Especially what's
Maybe if you
happening
can,
now, right? With the whole Binance situation, and it's crazy to see someone like CZ dropping off the all he's being prosecuted like just like Sen was, So I really would like to see more developers more take interest in this industry. And it seems like a marketing problem because we have the salaries, we have the money. Maybe not constant because it goes with the market, but still strange that people don't like the industry at all. I'm gonna invite everyone here to speak, so you guys feel free to open your mics and speak whatever questions you guys want to make sure reflect the developer, the programmer, the legend. Brother, have you have any experience with privacy protocols like Tornado Cash or SDK technologies?
I never used. I used it on the testnet, and I did look into Tornado Cash once, and then made a couple videos about it.
I understand. And did you like the technology? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think I thought the way they did it was really cool that they were able to implement zero knowledge proof using Solidity and a library called Circom.
That's really interesting. You think that what is your view on the developers being locked up, being in jail? And I know we can just say, hey, this is bad and everything, and we put a little bit of a deeper thought into this because in some ways the protocol is really helping people. let's say, hide money. So from I guess from the authorities' perspectives, they don't see the only thing they can think of is let's lock up these developers. I mean, what is your view on that?
I think it's not right to put developers in jail.
I understand.
And for privacy part, I am pro privacy. So I don't know about that whole Tornado Cash being used as a money laundering. So we need to shut everything down. Doesn't really make sense to me because I hear that banks are also doing money laundering and they're doing it at a bigger scale. So doesn't feel right that it's Tornado Cash that has to be shut down and not these big banks.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I know what you're saying right now. It's like this traditional finance is allowed to so many wrong stuff. Nobody's over their heads. Nobody's hunting these guys around. In crypto, we get a lot of hassle just because we're trying different things. The whole thing is not even traceable. I'm pretty sure that if you do some research, you're able to track back everything. Even on Tornado Cash, and because of the balance of the flow of money coming into these protocols. I was actually talking about this with CIA officers. So yeah, I mean, should definitely try to open our heads, And do you plan to release your own protocol? You have any ideas of maybe doing a tool or a product in the future?
Protocols. I'm always thinking about protocols, but nothing really worthwhile comes up. So I'm still working on it. Recently, I tried to make a seal bid second price auction, but then rediscovered that maybe the only practical way to do it is to have it over collateralized. So yeah, no new ideas from me right now.
I understand. And what about gaming? Do you think that gaming is going to be a good industry in blockchain? Do you have any experience in coding games or maybe doing smart contract for games?
No, I don't have any experience. So
and let's talk.
I don't know. It might be worth it though to do like ERC 1155 or NFTs with for game rare items. I don't know.
And let's talk a little bit about the YouTube hustle. You were able to grow your channel a lot. Did you invest in promotions? How did you get to that point?
I just release videos weekly, and that's all I do. I don't do any promotions.
For how long?
For about 4 years now, I think.
4 years, man. It's weekly, putting videos out weekly. You got really efficient at that, and I really like the pace of your videos. Like you're calm talking, but the videos are fast. Yeah, so you got
okay. Super cool. Hey, thanks.
Any inspiration for the way you do the videos? Like any channel you used to watch, and that influenced you on the way you do them today?
Yeah. Khan Academy. For like the style of teaching. And then I don't know, just watching a lot of YouTube and seeing how other people speak and present. You pick up on those techniques.
Very nice. I have a question here from our friend OZ. He's asking if you enjoy more Web3 or Web2.
Web3.
Why? Money?
No, yes, money, and also I think it's a real innovation. Web3 is, I think, the biggest application in Web3 right now is that we have a money that is outside of any nation state, and that really excites me. That you can write a multi-sig and now it's only the wallet owners that have control over the funds. So those kind of stuff really excite me.
Yeah, that's really cool. To be honest, your key, your coins, that. And I always remember that. And we talked a little bit about layer twos and the development in those technologies. It's really hard to understand what kind of research there is good, it's actually fruitful. How did you approach, researching these protocols? You're trying to run those, you're trying to research their consensus algorithm. How did you got into this?
I can talk about Uniswap V3 and MakerDAO because those are the two recent ones that I looked into and spent a lot of hours. Uh, they are how do I say this? Sorry, what was the question again?
The question is, how did you approach, because you say that you dived a little bit into layer twos,
Oh, okay.
To what level did
well,
you research that?
layer twos, I only played around with the tutorials, so my knowledge is limited. However, I can talk about Uniswap V3 or MakerDAO. So do you have any questions on those?
Yes, I have. I'll MakerDAO because at some point we thought that DAI would fall, and we even saw that situation last year. I think during the FTX run, people were selling a lot of DAI, and the CDP was. What is the magic behind MakerDAO, and why is it working? I mean, why is it profitable?
I don't, not an expert at economics, but I can tell you how, at the protocol level, how MakerDAO makes money.
Awesome.
So when you borrow, you put in your collateral and you mint DAI. And as long as you have that DAI, you're always being charged what's called a stability fee. And when you want to unlock your collateral, you gotta pay the DAI and the stability fee. So that's where Maker's making money from the stability fees. And what they do with this stability fee is they would open an auction to buy back their governance token called MKR.
I understand.
And the other part of MKR is if for some reason the protocol goes underwater, let's say even the collaterals were not enough to pay back all the debt, then they will have to sell their MKRs to bring the system back to debt-free state.
Really interesting. I have a question here from a friend, and he's saying, do you like the current industry state? Are we gravitating to hyper mass adoption? We're pursuing that? We're trying to make Web3 look like Web2, and a lot of times there's the cost of centralization. What is your view on this?
It might be like the situation of Linux. Linux did not replace Windows as a desktop, but for servers and everything else, Linux is dominating. So maybe in a similar way, Web3 might not be able to replace the traditional things that we do, but it might surround us in other ways.
Very nice. Another question that I have here is, what is your favorite layer 2?
Right now, looking at the documentation, it's either Arbitrum or Optimism.
Oh, and another question is from a friend, and he's saying that since you like auditing, you ever thought about doing C4, Sherlock, or even Unified?
Yeah, I started participating in the contest from last month. Right now, looking at Panoptics.
Oh, so imagine we're gonna see your name somewhere in around. I'm really excited for that,
No, I don't think so.
in the Auditor game.
I think it will take me some time to crack.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Based on what I watched from your videos, I don't think so. I think your playlist, Solidity 0.8, is pretty much the perfect. I mean, there's no curse, there's no content. Even the paid ones. I did a paid course, Solidity curse. It's not really paid, but it's like it was paid, and there's no content like that. Really beautiful the way you create those. I have another question from a friend here. Sorry, not sorry. Have you ever thought on how many lives you might have changed with your contribution? If so, it is propelling to do your weekly videos. Great question.
It is propelling to do my weekly videos.
Yeah, I mean the contributions you're making to people's lives is something that motivates you to keep on delivering the videos.
Yeah, definitely. The mindset I had when I started the video was that I had maybe like 100 or 1,000 subscribers, and I was like, great, I can teach 1,000 people. Let me just keep on publishing video. And that mindset still hasn't changed. So even if there's I don't know, few audience, I will keep on publishing contents.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have
Another
you.
question.
Go on, Mohab.
Just a minute, miss. What do you think about ZK proofs? What's your mind about these? Did you play with them? Did you know what proof?
Just a little bit. Not an expert.
What do you think about the technology?
I think it's a nice technology, but we're using it right now for sort of like data compression from L2 to L1, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know, seems like a lot of effort going into bringing data from L2 to L1. I don't really have an opinion on it, but the math is
Not yet.
definitely
You're not well informed yet.
Oh?
You're not well informed yet to form an opinion on it.
Yeah, definitely. The math is too difficult. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think the math is too difficult. So instead of trying to spend all that time to learn ZK math, I'd rather spend my time somewhere else.
Yeah, man, totally.
Really cool, really cool. Another question here from our friend Rami. He's asking, I see you're into auction design. Do you think that the current state of Solidity implementations of such architectures are mature enough? Maybe what would you implement differently?
Well, some of the auctions are working fine, like the Dutch auction and the English auction. It's just the sealbit second price auction that I don't have any idea how to do it efficiently.
Can you explain for us the difference between the Dutch auction and the English auction?
Yeah. So English auction is the auction that we're all familiar with. Is there such thing as a Yahoo auction? Are you guys familiar with that?
Not really. Can you explain what an auction is?
So English auction, the seller sets a time, and people bid, and the highest bidder wins. So you're competing with other bidders.
Awesome.
So that's English auction. Dutch auction is the seller sets a high price, and over time the price decreases. And inside a smart contract, it's usually done as a linear decrease over time. And whenever the buyer says, I want to buy, they will buy at that price, and then the auction closes.
So the seller sets a high price, and the buyer buys at the price of, and the first buyer that wants to buy at the price of the seller gets it.
Yes, exactly.
Really interesting. What are the different ways or the other kinds of auctions we have?
The other one that I know is the seal bid second price auction.
How does it
Second
work?
price auction, there's two parts, seal bid and second price. Seal bid means that other people cannot know the price that you're bidding. Second price means that the winner pays the second highest price.
The
And
second highest price? Don't get it.
does that make sense? So let's say that the highest bidder bids $100. Second highest bidder bids $19. Then at the end of the auction, the winner will be the highest bidder who bid $100, but he'll be paying the second highest price, which is $90.
Wow. Really nice to see how people come up with these designs. I mean, this is really old, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just saw some YouTube videos, and according to the YouTube videos, they said that second price auctions are something about the best game strategy to win the second price auction is just to be honest about what price you want. So you're not competing with anyone else. So that's like the interesting part of second price auctions.
And what other things you find interesting? What other kinds of design and architecture you find in this financial strategy game?
For auctions or for something
in general, I mean, I say you know it, MakerDAO and Uniswap, but there's anything else caught in your
AMM equations?
That's really interesting. Can we talk a little bit about the Uniswap V3 trickery?
Uniswap V3 is just Uniswap V2 in a limited range. So you get like instead of getting instead of the curve being a really curvy curve, when you do like concentrated liquidity, you're sort of like zooming, you're making that curve bigger, so the curve becomes more flat.
So the curve is rebooted in a more efficient way.
Yeah, for a limited range, yes, and it works well for stable pairs.
How do you think Uniswap gets to those perfect pieces of code? You know how? Because everybody is prone to fall and to flaws and everything, but they seem to get that way less wrong.
I think they have a lot of great engineers, and I also think that they have a lot of internal testing tools that they're not releasing it on GitHub.
And they also have a lot of connections, right? I bet that they must get the protocol reviewed by the best people possible.
Yeah.
And brother, something that we are seeing today is a race for TVL, race for people with all these different chains. One has his difference, but there's also a lot of pointless chains. Things that people, they just fork Ethereum, they do some just to attract TVL, and there's a really scammy part, you know. And we are a little bit weird about this because we talk so badly about scams, but we don't care when the scams comes from the VCs. What is your view on this?
Scammers gonna be scammers, so
there's no running away from that.
Yeah.
And do you ever tried yourself to fork a chain, do some testing, maybe do some optimism in Ethereum fork or something like that?
No, never fork the chain. Too lazy.
I understand. You know, they say that the lazy developers are the best, you know, and I completely agree with that.
I'm not the best developer though.
You are better than a lot of people, bro. Let me tell you that right now. Better than probably 99.9% of people. Not everyone understands that the mathematical concepts. I mean, and let's talk a little bit about this. Are you into the maths?
I know enough math to explain maybe like Uniswap V2 and V3, but I don't know enough math to explain options and derivatives and other fancy financial stuff.
And what are you looking to do in the future? I mean, you have any special kind of project coming?
No, nothing in particular. I'm right now interested in like security and audit contests.
And talking about
those.
security, how's the experience has been of research in this area? How long you been doing the security research?
I never really consider myself as a security researcher. Started out just learning the basic security of Web3. And over time, you look at different contracts and just find bugs. So that's I don't know if I would consider myself a security researcher, but maybe the things that I do, part of the things that I do, are things that security researchers also do.
Which is analyzing the code, looking for possible vulnerabilities, and maybe looking.
Yes.
Today you work with more smart contract engineers? There's more people, or you are alone in the team?
Yeah, I'm alone, one-man show.
And have you been working by yourself for a long time now?
Yeah. You're talking about the channel?
No, talking about your work, because now you're working for a company, right?
Yes, I am working for a company. But for smart contract programmer stuff, I am doing everything on my own.
In the company you're working for, you're doing blockchain development, or you're just doing development overall?
I used to do development, but I will be freelancing after December.
Awesome, that's cool. That's pretty cool. And when you say freelancing, you mean like doing contracts or doing audits, just working by yourself, right?
Yeah, probably be doing some trying out some C4 audits, C4 contests.
How did the channel influence the amount of freelance jobs you get? I mean, did a lot of people come to you to get jobs, to create contracts and do things for them?
Yes. During the bull market, I got contacted a lot, and I had to turn them down because I couldn't do them. But during the bear market, it becomes, the amount of requests also decreases.
I imagine that you must be quite quiet, because at least in the last bull run, you were one of the very few people that were at a good level and were also producing content. So I imagine that maybe being a VC or someone that wants to build something and seeing your videos would be more than excited to try to reach out to you.
Maybe. I think that the audience, the people who are watching my videos, are not the people who are like business people who want to do some business with me. I think those are two different audiences.
I understand. I'm gonna set in and invite you guys to make more questions. So anyone has a question, I invited everybody to speak. And you guys feel make questions. Bro, one more thing is, what is your view on Bitcoin? Are you investing on Bitcoin? Do you think that it's gonna take off as currency in the world? Like, it's gonna take off as one of the main financial tools people are gonna be using?
First cryptocurrency that I bought was Bitcoin, and I still have some.
Nice.
I think it's always nice to not have all of your eggs in one basket. So this includes having some crypto and having different kinds of crypto. And especially for people like me who do not have US dollars in their bank account, it's always, I think, you're prone to inflation eating away your savings if you don't have, if all of your assets are in fiat currency.
Pretty true. Pretty true. How do you feel? How do you deal with the Japanese yen crashing?
Well, I get paid in US dollars, so um, it's not as painful as getting paid in yen. And I think that's like the only edge. That's like the only thing that people that are getting paid in yen can do is to hold some other asset, maybe.
Do you believe that the flippening will happen in the next 5 years? Flippening refers to the hypothetical moment where Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin as the biggest cryptocurrency.
I don't understand why it's 5 years.
I think that they're calculating it based on an index. You know how many people are buying it, and even a website for that. Do you think that's happening?
Yeah. I feel like I think Ethereum is way more user friendly than Bitcoin, so I can see user adoptions going, but for money wise, it might be just about it. Might be whether big institutions pour their money into Bitcoin or Ethereum. Yeah,
Really,
I'm not really sure.
really interesting. Have you did take a look? I don't think you have took a look at Ordinals yet, right? But you gotta take a look. You're gonna love this stuff. When I send you the link, right?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I don't know. Just waiting for one question here for Xavier. Just why did you decide to leave your stable job?
I didn't. It's part of the consequence of bear market.
I understand.
Yeah.
You only got the job because of the bear market. Smart man, always making money, always making money. Never looking into your really cool. Brother, there's anything else that you wanna say? Any closing message you would have for people that will hear this in the future?
I don't know. Feel free to ask me questions, I guess. On I don't know on my channel or Twitter or wherever.
Awesome. I have another question here, which is, what is your view on AI?
AI.
Yes.
Well, I use ChatGPT for part of my work. Where again, I will ask some questions. Most of the Solidity questions are smart contract programming questions. They cannot really answer, so it has a lot of work to do for blockchain.
Awesome. That's it. Thank you guys so much for joining. Smart contract programmer, thank you so much for being here, bro. You're doing us a great favor by being here, and this is having the chance of once again coming for circle and talking to you. For me, this is completely absurd.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
No problem. I mean, you can always come back every time you want. I mean, want you to bring your community here, or if you want to leave the link to your Discord server so I can send people there. Okay. That would be quite cool. Cool.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you so much, brother.